Hello everyone, welcome to my channel. In this video guys, we're going to talk about how to navigate Paris when you speak very little or no French at all. So I've been getting a lot of comments on my videos in my how to travel Paris on a budget playlist. I'll link that playlist above and below. And a lot of you are concerned on how to do Paris when you're French, you speak very little French. So that's what we're going to talk about in this video. So we're going to cover three main areas: how to navigate Paris, dining out in Paris, and doing activities and just, doing Paris. So guys, before we begin, let me ease your anxiety because again, I've been getting a lot of comments. Paris is such a tourist friendly city. They're very open to tourists. I mean, it's like the tourist destination of the world. If you ask anyone where they want to go, they'll say Paris. So it's very tourist friendly. Next thing is, just remember French is a Roman language. So there are a lot of things in French that sound similar in English. So it won't sound completely foreign to you like Mandarin or Japanese. Some of the things that people say in French to you, you might just be able to understand. And then finally, some things are just universal. No matter where you go in the world, there are just some things that mean the same thing. Red means stop, green means go. My point is, you will be able to figure a lot of things out even though you don't speak any French. So I just want to put that out there and ease your anxiety. You can definitely do Paris and have an amazing trip even if you don't speak French. So let's jump right into navigating Paris, taking the metro, which I'm assuming most of you will be taking if, again, you don't speak any French. So first things first, you need to figure out where you're going. I recommend that when you're in Paris, you use the Google Maps app. You enter where you're going and then directions will show up on your phone. The directions will show you how to get from your accommodation to the train station, the trains you have to take, and the stop you need to get off at. And also, if there's any walking from the train stop to the destination you're going to, it'll show that as well. If you're not used to taking the subway or the train, then this might be new to a lot of you guys. So make sure you download the Google Maps app just to get familiar with using public transportation. Even if you're at home right now, if you're in the US, you can enter your hotel or Airbnb address, enter, say, the Eiffel Tower, and you can just play around the app and just see how it looks. So when you're in Paris, you can easily know how to navigate the Google Maps app. So you're at the train station, you go down the stairs, and then the first thing you need to do is buy your ticket. So you go to the machine. There's usually like maybe 4 machines depending on the size of the train station. But I usually find there to be 2 to 4 machines for you to buy your ticket. And I would advise you to buy your ticket from the ticket machines and not go to the conductor, just in case they don't speak English or they just can't be bothered to speaking English. So like I said before, Paris is such a tourist friendly city. There is an option for you to select English and everything will be in English, and it's self-explanatory. It's very easy to use the ticket machine. After you buy your ticket, insert it, and you would have to determine which side that you're going on. There's going to be 2 train tracks. You'll have to know which side you're going on, and don't worry, it's very easy. There's going to be a sign on the wall with the train's destination and the different stops that train is taking. So you would go back to the Google Maps app to see which direction your train is going in and the stop. And again, you can just look on the sign on the wall to see if that train is going to your stop. Now, when you get on the train, do not rely on hearing the stop from the conductor. Hearing the conductor announce the stop, do not rely on that, because if you do not speak French, what you're reading on your app will not sound like what the conductor is saying. So here's what I recommend. As soon as you get on a train, there's gonna be like, how the heck do I say this? I'll show a picture of it or a video of it. There's gonna be the stops on the wall, and you can see where you are and how many stops until your destination or the stop that you're getting off at. So I would literally look up at that and count how many stops you will need to take to know when you need to get off. And also when you get to your stop, there's going to be the name of the stop everywhere. So that's another way for you to know when to get off. And when you get off the train, you're gonna need to know where to exit. You can just follow where everyone else is exiting, or you can see that there's a sign. There's gonna be a blue sign that says sort. So I can't say it with the French accent. You just exit. That's gonna be where you exit. When you exit the train, you're going to have to probably do some walking. So be sure to go back to your Google Maps app and see where you have to walk and where you have to go. So I hope that was helpful, guys. Like I said, it's super easy to navigate the metro. You just need that Google Maps app. Next, let's talk about dining out in Paris. So guys, this is gonna be the hardest part of doing Paris without French, because the French people do not play that. That is one thing they do not cater for English speakers. Your entire menu is going to be in France, unless you're in a very, very touristy area, like right near the Eiffel Tower. It will be in French and then English under it. The meals of the day, whether that's on a chalkboard outside the restaurant, or it's written somewhere in the restaurants, or they give you like a menu for it, it's all gonna be in straight up French. It is not gonna be in English. So this is gonna be your biggest struggle in Paris, but don't worry, here is a simple solution. But before we get into that, I forgot to mention this earlier, but when you enter the restaurant, make sure you greet them in French. And if they do that thing where they just start speaking French really, really fast, just assuming you speak French, that can be a little bit overwhelming. And sometimes I just kind of freeze up and I'm like, whoa. And then they're just talking. Just wait until they're done. And then you can say in French, I'm sorry, I don't speak French, or I'm sorry, my French is not so good. But one thing you shouldn't do is enter a restaurant and just start speaking English and just assume that your waiter or your host speaks English. That kind of drives them crazy. Don't do that. And that's the reason they say a lot of Americans are rude, but that's for another video. Okay, so here's how you handle everything being in French when you're in a French restaurant. Use the Google Translate app. Make sure you download that right now. That is gonna save your life when dining out in France. So here's what you do. You open the Google Translate app, click on the camera symbol, and you hover it over whatever it is that's in French, and it will translate it for you automatically. It's super cool. And of course, you can use this app for many other things that are written in French when navigating Paris. When it's translated and you figured out what the heck it is you want to eat on the menu, you can just tell your host. And of course, guys, the same things you would say to a waiter in the US, you would say to a waiter in France. So just like you would say thank you in the US when your waiter brings your food, you would say the same thing in French. You would say merci beaucoup, same thing. So just a quick tip, guys, or recommendation. One thing you should not do when you're in Paris as someone that doesn't speak French is just approach someone and just start speaking English really fast and just assume that they can understand you. That really drives Parisians crazy. They don't like that. And I've read a lot of comments. I've had a comment like that on my channel, that French people do not like that. They don't like when Americans kind of do this thing where they assume everyone speaks English, or everyone must speak English just because they're speaking English, you know? So as someone that doesn't speak French very fluently, just be mindful that not everyone is required to or wants to speak English to you just because that's the language you speak. I hope that makes sense. Next, let's talk about how to do attractions in Paris when you don't speak French, like the Louvre, the Eiffel Tower, museums, all that jazz that you probably want to do when you're in Paris. And I think I mentioned this earlier, but now I'm going to stress it. Paris is very tourist friendly. Many of the tourist attractions cater to English speakers. A lot of the translations, directions, information on the site, every bit of communication, there's a French version and there's an English version, and then there's usually other languages like Portuguese, Mandarin, but let me tell you, there's always an English translation, or a sign might have French and right under it's in English. And this is particularly true in most of the popular tourist destinations like the Eiffel Tower and the Louvre. Don't worry, there's going to be a translation for you. So like I've been stressing throughout this whole entire video, you're probably so tired of hearing me say it, Paris is so tourist friendly. It caters to English speakers in particular. There is nothing to worry about. So I really hope this video helped you. If you have any questions, any more questions on navigating Paris when you don't speak French, please do leave that in the description. If you think I've left anything out, I can make a whole entire video on that topic. I'll see you guys in the next video. Bye.